Bro, I didn't get that marketing job. Yeah. They emailed you already? No, I never replied. Then how did you not get it? I could tell they weren't interested. Mikey, they don't even know you exist. Exactly. Not even one email. That tells me everything. You reject yourself before they had the chance. Saves everybody time. Bro, that's not how applying works. What's going on? It's your boy, Fa Sho. You know how we do. Have you ever talked yourself out of something before you even gave it a chance? Maybe it's applying for a job, starting a business, making a YouTube channel, or just walking up and talking to somebody you thought that was cute. You tell yourself, that probably won't work. And because you think it might fail, you decide not to do it. But here's the problem. You're treating a prediction like it already happened. I know because I've done it for years. YouTube has always been a dream of mine. Starting my own business was a dream too. But fear kept making me stop, wait, change direction, and sometimes quit completely. I still don't know how exactly any of this is going to turn out. That's the whole point of this video. You don't need to believe you're definitely going to win. Sometimes you have doubts. Sometimes the odds look terrible. Sometimes you honestly think you might fail. Do it anyways. Your brain is always trying to protect you. It wants to save you from embarrassment, rejection, wasting time, and losing money. So it creates a story about what's going to happen. Nobody's going to watch my video. They won't hire me. My business will fail. She probably has a boyfriend. And sometimes your prediction might be right. I'm not going to lie to you and say every attempt ends with some magical success story. Sometimes the video flops. Sometimes the company rejects you. Sometimes the business idea loses money. Sometimes the girl says no. But before you act, you don't actually know. Fear takes something that can happen and present it like something that already happened. Then you make a real decision based on an imaginary result. That's how people lose opportunities without technically being rejected. They reject themselves first. Deep down, I have always wanted a successful YouTube channel. When I started Bring the Shreds, I had high expectations. I thought I was going to make fitness videos. People would find them, the channel would grow, and I would finally be doing what I wanted to do. Then the views weren't there, and I let the numbers get to me. I would keep going for a while, get discouraged, quit, come back again, try again, and then disappear again. It was this on and off relationship with something I knew I wanted. The problem wasn't only that the channel was growing slowly. The problem was what I made the low views mean. I treated them as proof that I wasn't meant to do YouTube. But a low number on one video doesn't know my future. It only tells me what happened with that video, at that time, with that topic, title, thumbnail, and version of me. I gave early results way too much power over a dream I had carried for years. When I first pictured the channel, I thought it had to be fitness related. I made fitness tips and tricks. I tried food reviews. I did healthy eating mukbang. I kept changing the niche because I was trying to figure out what fit me and what people wanted to watch. At that time, changing directions felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And honestly, I didn't. But now I can see all those attempts were how I learned. If I had waited until I understood the perfect version of Bring the Shreds, I still would be waiting. The channel had to exist before it could evolve. Right now, I feel like I have a better sense of where I want to go. I want to talk about rebuilding your life when you're behind, because that's what I'm actually doing. That direction did not arrive while I sat around doing nothing. It came from making things, getting things wrong, changing my mind, and slowly seeing what felt real. Sometimes starting does not reveal that your original idea was correct. It reveals what the idea was supposed to become. Most people do not say, I'm giving up my dream forever. That would sound too painful. Instead, they'll say, I'll do it later. After I graduate college and get my degree, then I'll start my business. After I get my stable job, then I'll start a channel. After I have more money, then I'll take a chance. Some people say, after my kids grow up, then I'll pursue my dream. That can sound responsible, and sometimes life really does require you to put some things on hold. I understand that. But the danger is the finish line keeps moving. The kids grow up, your schedule finally opens, then the reasons change from, I don't have time to, I'm too old now. There will always be another reason to wait. You don't need to blow up your life to ignore your responsibilities. You just need to stop pretending that a perfect, fearless season is guaranteed to arrive. I'm going to start. I just need to graduate first. You graduated. Right, so now I need a stable job. You got one. Okay, but now I need more money. How much? I'll know when I have it. So when are you actually starting? After this weekend, unless something else comes up. It took me a long time to start my e-commerce business for some reason. I wasn't sure it would succeed, and starting a business costs money. You have to spend before you have proof that anybody will buy. And honestly, that scared me. I was so afraid of losing money that I kept delaying the attempt. I wanted certainty before I accepted any risk. But business does not give you that deal. You can research, you can plan, you can try to make smart decisions, but eventually you have to put something in front of real people and let them answer. Once I started, I learned things I could not have learned from another month of thinking. I learned about products, customers, advertising, websites, mistakes, refunds, sales, and all the small problems nobody put in the exciting start a business video. My business is not a failure, but I cannot call it success I want yet either. It has sales, but they are inconsistent. It cannot replace a 9 to 5 right now. Still, I'm much farther than the version of me who is afraid to lose money. You never know what you don't know until you actually start. There is one way to protect yourself from almost every failure. Never attempt anything. No rejection applications if you never applied. No bad videos if you never upload. No business losses if you never open the store. No awkward conversations if you never approach nobody. Your ego stays perfectly protected. Your life also stays the exact same. That is the trade people forget. Avoiding failure is not free. You pay for it with missed experience, missed opportunities, and years of wondering what might have happened. Bro, I have literally never failed at anything. What have you tried? Nothing without a guaranteed victory. So, what have you accomplished? That's not a metric we're tracking. Then what are you tracking? Vibes, confidence, jawline. I'm crushing all three. You cannot lose a game you refuse to play. Exactly, bro. Undefeated. I'm not saying failure automatically makes you successful. You can fail and learn absolutely nothing if you refuse to look at what happened. But a real attempt gives you evidence. A video with low views can show you that topic, packaging, opening, or format needs work. A rejection application can show you that your resume might need improvement, your role is not the right fit, or simply you need more attempts. A weak product can teach you what customers do not want. The results may hurt, but now you have something to work with. Doing nothing gives you none of that. If you keep the same plan, the same fear, and the same unanswered question, that is why I no longer see a bad result as the final answer for me. Sometimes it is feedback on the attempt. Sometimes it is the wrong opportunity. Sometimes the numbers are telling me to improve. Sometimes I just need to stay in the game a little longer. Failure does not always tell you to stop. Sometimes it tells you what to do next. YouTube recently announced a change that honestly scared me. Right now, to qualify for ad and YouTube premium revenue through the YouTube Partner Program with long-form videos, a new creator needs 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 qualified watch hours within the last year. Starting February 1st, 2027, the subscriber requirement stays at 1,000, but the watch hour requirement for new creators doubles to 8,000 qualified hours in the previous 365 days. 4,000 hours already feels impossible to me. Hearing 8,000 makes me think, what's the point? Am I ever going to reach that? That is exactly when the lesson in this video becomes real. I cannot control YouTube's rule. I cannot force people to watch. I cannot guarantee that this channel gets monetized. I can't control whether I make the next video. My original plan was to do only one video a week. Now I'm working towards 2. The new rule could have been the reason why I quit again. Instead, I'm using this as pressure to work harder and get better. I still may fail, but I refuse to let a requirement end the channel before the viewers do. This week alone, I applied to 100 jobs, and so far I have been getting rejection after rejection, and that does not feel good. Every rejection email is a tiny reminder that I'm not where I want to be yet. It would be easy to look at the pattern and say, nobody wants me, why do I keep applying? But if I stop, I turn a difficult search into a guaranteed result. No application means no interview. No interview means no offer. I do not need 100 companies to say yes. I need one good opportunity to work out. That does not mean I mindlessly submit the same weak application forever. I still need to improve my resume, target roles that fit, prepare for interviews, and learn from what's happening. But improvement only matters if I take that shot. Mikey's logic from the beginning sounds ridiculous when he says it out loud. But people do it every day. We reject ourselves, we call it being realistic, and then wonder why nothing changed. Dating is another easy example. You see somebody you think is attractive, you want to talk to her. Then your mind starts working. She'll probably reject me. I'm going to look stupid. She probably has a boyfriend. Maybe she does. Maybe she says no. Maybe the conversation is awkward. You feel bad for a few minutes, and then life continues. But if you never say anything, you can carry that question much longer. What if I just had talked to her? The goal is not to bother women, treat dating like it's a numbers game, or expect somebody to owe you attention. You respect the answer and keep moving. The point is learning that rejection is survivable. Your first few conversations may be nerve-wracking. With practice, you become more comfortable being yourself and hearing an answer you cannot control. And every once in a while, one conversation becomes a phone number. One number becomes a date. One date might become somebody important in your life. You cannot guarantee the outcome. You can only give life a chance to answer. Here's the rule I am trying to follow now. If something's going to fail, let it fail in real life, not only inside my imagination. Let the company decide whether I get the interview. Let the audience decide whether the video connects. Let the customer decide whether the product is worth buying. Let the woman decide whether she wants to talk. I am not entitled to a yes. I am responsible for making an attempt. I already know it's not going to work.
It happened already?
No, but I can tell.
No, you're just guessing.
It's a pretty good guess.
Maybe, but you're letting the guess make the decision.
So, what am I supposed to do?
Give the world a chance to tell you no. It might surprise you.
Do it anyway. Does not mean gamble your rent, quit your job tomorrow, ignore your family, or put your whole life on one risky decision. You can make an attempt smaller. Upload one video instead of promising yourself a 10-year YouTube career. Apply to 5 fitting jobs today instead of trying to solve your entire career tonight. Test one project with a budget you can afford to lose instead of ordering a warehouse full of inventory. Say hello and have a normal conversation instead of imagining marriage before you know her name. Fear usually shows you the biggest possible version of the risk. Your job is to find an honest action that creates real information, not another month of research, not reorganizing the plan for the 20th time, not watching someone else do it and calling it preparation. One action that leaves your head and enters the real world. I'm in my 40s now, and I thought my life would look a lot different than it does. That is hard to admit. I can blame timing, circumstances, other people, or all the other things that didn't go my way. Some of those things are real, but I have to be honest about the years of fear, distraction, and waiting kept me from moving. I cannot go back and make young Lewis start sooner. I cannot recover every opportunity I talk myself out of. I can decide what happens with the time I still have. I do not want to be on my deathbed thinking, I could have made those videos. I could have built something. I could have talked to that person. What if my life came out differently? I would rather have some attempts fail than spend the rest of my life protected from every possible rejection. So I'm still building this channel. I'm still applying for jobs. I'm still working on my e-commerce business. None of those outcomes are guaranteed, but I am done requiring proof of success before I give myself permission to try. You don't need to wake up tomorrow feeling fearless. You don't need to convince yourself that you are definitely going to. You only need to stop treating your worst prediction like it's a fact. Think about one thing you already counted out. That job you assume will reject you. That video you think nobody will watch. That business idea you keep pushing to next year. The person you're afraid to talk to. Do not bet your whole life on it. Make one small, real attempt this week and let reality give you an answer. I do not know if Bring the Shreds will reach the level I want, but I know exactly what will happen if I quit again. It had no chance. So until reality gives you a reason to change direction, I'm making the next video. If you think you might fail, do it anyways.
Maybe courage is not believing everything will work out. Maybe it is finally accepting that I cannot know and choosing to move anyway. I have spent enough years asking what if. I would rather start collecting answers.